The celebration of Carnival has its origins in ancient European festivals such as the Greek Dionysian or the Roman Saturnalia. These festivals were marked by a temporary suspension of social obligations and hierarchies, allowing for the overthrow of order, joking, and even debauchery. From a historical and religious perspective, Carnival represented a period of celebration, but above all, a symbolic renewal during which chaos replaced the established order. Once the festive period was over, the established order re-emerged new or renewed and guaranteed for a cycle valid until the beginning of the following carnival. From an anthropological point of view, Carnival is a reversal ritual, in which social roles are reversed, and norms about desired behavior are suspended. During antiquity, winter was thought of as the reign of the winter spirits, which needed to be driven out in order for summer to return. Carnival can thus be regarded as a rite of passage from darkness to light, from winter to summer, a fertility celebration, the first spring festival of the new year. Several Germanic tribes celebrated the returning of the daylight. Winter would be driven out to ensure that fertility could return in spring. A central figure of this ritual was possibly the fertility goddess Nerthus. Also, there are some indications that the effigy of Nerthus or Freyr was placed on a ship with wheels and accompanied by a procession of people in animal disguise in men and women's clothes. Aboard the ship, a marriage would be consummated as a fertility ritual. In the Middle Ages, Carnival referred to a period following Epiphany season that reached its climax before midnight on Shrove Tuesday. Lent was a period of fasting, and Carnival therefore represented a last period of feasting and celebration before the spiritual rigors of Lent. In the last few days of Carnival, known as Shrovetide, people confessed, strived, their sins in preparation for Lent as well. Traditionally, the Carnival feast was the last opportunity for common people to eat well, as there was typically a food shortage at the end of the winter as stores ran out. Until spring produce was available, people were limited to the minimum necessary meals during this period. On what nowadays is called basking in line, all the remaining winter stores of water, butter, and meat which were left would be eaten, for these would otherwise soon start to rot and decay. The selected livestock had already been slaughtered in November and the meat would no longer be preservable. All the food that had survived the winter had to be eaten to assure that everyone was fed enough to survive until the coming spring would provide new food sources. Traditionally, the feast also was a time to indulge in sexual desires, which were supposed to be suppressed during the following period of fasting. Before Lent began, all rich food and drink were consumed in what became a giant celebration that involved the whole community and is thought to be the origin of Carnival. In many Christian sermons and texts, the example of a vessel is used to explain Christian doctrine, the nave of the church at baptism, the ship of Mary, etc. The writings show that processions with ship-like carts were held and lavish feasts were celebrated on the eve of Lent or the greeting of spring in the early Middle Ages. The Lenten period of the liturgical calendar, the 6 weeks directly before Easter, was historically marked by fasting, study, and other pious or penitential practices. During Lent, no parties or celebrations were held, and people refrained from eating rich foods such as meat, dairy, fat,